Imagine being the one who has the adult child who calls you 4, sometimes 5 times a day just to update you on their day. Your child loves to talk to you. Other people have made comments like, wow, you must have done a great job like raising her for her to be this close to you. It's always been that way. And then suddenly she cuts you off. Like with no explanation, she just says, I need space. Well, that was a year and a half ago, and you're wondering, how much space am I supposed to give her? Like, it's been a long time, and will I make it worse by reaching out to her? So I feel so bad for this mom in our community reaching out. She's doing that because she knows she can trust us. She knows that we'll be kind to her in the comments. So here's her letter, and then we'll talk about it. We'll process it a little bit. I'm the mom of 2 adult children, and we've always had a close relationship. My daughter and I used to talk multiple times a day. She would call me. It wasn't like I was expecting it. She just always liked to check in and give me updates on how her day was going. But about a year and a half ago, she told me she found out she couldn't have children. Shortly after that, she cut off all contact, didn't explain. She just said she needed space. I haven't heard from her since. She recently told my husband that she misses me so much, but that I said something that made her feel like I was disappointed in her when she shared her infertility news. That absolutely shattered me, because I promise you I would never say that. I couldn't be more proud of my daughter. I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken for her, for the journey she's going down right now. I'm heartbroken because I miss her, but I don't know how much space to give or if reaching out would make it worse. Oh, this is just so excruciating, going from constant closeness to then absolute silence. I'm so sorry. I mean, that you just have to be aching for answers. Like my mom and I talk very often like that. I mean, I could just imagine what she would be going through if something like that happened to us. Your daughter was definitely in that moment carrying something super, super tender, and that whether it was said or it was just misconstrued, whatever, she interpreted it differently. She felt unseen in that moment, and it really, really hurt her. Like she was in the midst of a trauma, maybe hypersensitive. Something happened, and that is a very real thing for her. So I just want to say that you can't control her readiness, like if she's ready to reconcile with you, but you can control what you offer. So if this were happening to me and this was my daughter pulling away from me and she hasn't explicitly said, do not contact me, this is what I would do. I would send my daughter a letter, so it's not really intrusive. She can come to it whenever she's ready, just explaining my side of it, apologizing, and just letting her know that this isn't pressure to reconnect. This is just letting her know I'm ready, however she would want to, if she ever wants to, like in the future, basically like that. Like I would basically want her to know I would never want you going through life feeling like I was disappointed in you, because that's the furthest thing from the truth. So I'm just trying to correct something that might have been a miscommunication, but not saying it didn't happen, because to her it happened. So I'm not going to argue that. That's very, very important. Don't argue her experience. That's where kind of we get caught in the weeds, the quicksand, and the conversation goes nowhere. Don't do that. So this is what I would do. I would send her a letter, and I would just say, Dale came home after your guys' visit. He let me know that, you were profoundly hurt by something that I said or I made you feel. He told me that, I made you feel like I was disappointed after you shared the news that you couldn't have children. I want you to know how sorry I am. I can't believe something like that came out of my mouth, or I made you feel that way. Like, I would never want you to feel like I was disappointed in you. I couldn't be more proud of you. And plus, in that moment of tenderness, you're in the moment of trauma, and for you to feel like your own mom made you feel like a disappointment, how incredibly painful. I'm so sorry. I wish I could give you a hug. Like, I'm so sorry you've been carrying that, and I couldn't live with myself thinking that you would be carrying something like that. So I had to write, and I don't mean to disrespect your space, but I had to correct that. So, I never want you to feel like you're a disappointment to me. And I'm really, really sorry if anything ever came out like that. I'm so sorry. Now, this isn't to pressure you to reconnect. This isn't to pressure you to do anything. I know you're living your life. I'm just letting you know, if and when you ever do want to talk, I'm more than willing, and I will do it wherever, whoever you want there. You want a therapist there, a pastor, a neutral family member, whatever. I'm open, I'm ready. But my main point in sending you this is just I couldn't bear thinking that you thought that I'm disappointed in you. Like I'm heartbroken for you, and I just wanted you to know that. So that's what I would do if my child didn't explicitly say, do not contact me. And I'm not doing it to expect like an answer. I'm not doing it to expect reconciliation. I'm doing it so at least she knows where I'm at. And then I'm going to focus on like my other adult child who I still have a good relationship with, what they're up to, my life, my hobbies, my relationship. And I just will wait. I will have the patience to wait and hope that at some point, like my daughter is ready to talk things through and maybe give me more pointers if she hasn't already on like what I can work on, or hopefully at some point she's ready to reconcile. I'm so sorry, because it definitely feels a little bit different than some people that reach out. It feels like this rupture happened in the most tender trauma points for your daughter's story, and it just kind of got filed away differently, but to her, that happened. So I just want you to not go into that conversation debating that or denying it. It's really, language is really careful. It's very important in that letter. So watch this video again so that you don't say, something that I didn't say, because you don't want her to feel like, oh, I just made this up. That's not what you're doing. You're simply validating how awful that would have felt if that's how she, she interpreted that, like how horrible. She was so low, and that's what she got from you. Like, I'm so sorry. So that's what I would do. So just my 2 cents. What does the community have to say for this mom who truly had such a great relationship, and then now she's just in the dark, and she wants desperately to let her child know that is absolutely the furthest thing from the truth. She's not disappointed. Should she reach out? Would she do more damage? Or what would you do in this situation?